Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Don't y'all ever say I ain't dedicated to y'all. If you do, you gonna get a butt chewing from me. I'd already called it a night, and one of my subscribers contacted me, and evidently Omnitrax or somebody is having a blitz on the ELDs. And they ain't never ran paper logs before. This is one of the reasons why I tell y'all you need to learn this stuff before you need it. I've made videos on this before simply so that you could learn it. Of course, we don't need it, so we don't learn it. Then when the shit hits the fan, it's, oh my God, what do I do? All right, look, paper logs ain't that hard. You know how the logs work on that ELD over there. Okay, do you ever look at the graphs and stuff on there, or are you just looking at your hours? You need to educate yourself and look at the graphs on there, and it will show you a layout just like this one. All right, now I was going to suggest you make a new one. Kiss my ass. Because, like I said, thousands of drivers are having to run paper logs, and most like me don't know it all. Really. So most will go to YouTube for help and maybe find you. But me, why do I need to do that when I can just call the Godfather of trucking? Don't try sucking up now. He done woke me up. And he should already learned this instead of talking smack and bouncing off the walls. Look, it's real simple. And while I'm thinking about it, on the back of your log sheet, this is your pre-trip, post-trip stuff. It must be filled out every day, every morning, every night, just like you do it on that electronic log. On your log sheet. All right, don't know if you can see it that good or not. You have everything up here that you have to put in on that. A truck number, a trailer number, the date. Down here somewhere, here's your manifest number over here. So up here is your truck number and trailer number, wherever it is on yours. All of these are not exactly the same. There's your date over here. Down here is your manifest or your bill of lading number. You got to have all that stuff in there. Now, a lot of them will have a place for starting miles and ending miles. This one only has it for total miles driven today. What I would suggest to you is to go ahead, and that's what all this big empty spot is in here, is for notes. I would suggest you make a note starting mileage and ending mileage. In this day and age, I'm sure they'll bust you. Back in my day, they didn't worry about it. Nowadays, they worry about that. It's an excuse to bust you. So put your starting and ending mileage for the day. That way, when you put it over here, it's correct. This is not a time for you to be wondering and trying to learn how to cheat the paper logs. How did they do it back in the day? Well, we did it back in the day. We knew how. You don't know how, and this ain't back in the day. This is today. So you need to learn how to do it right before you can ever think about learning to cheat. Now, just like that one over here, the top line is off duty. The second line is your sleeper berth. The third line is your driving. The fourth line is your on duty not driving. It's going to be just the same as over there. Have you some kind of a ruler, whatever it is. It don't have to actually be a ruler. You can use the edge of something straight, a straight edge. What you're going to do is you're going to line this up, and you're going to get it in accordance to what time. So you're starting at midnight, And let's say you was off duty until 2 o'clock in the morning. So you'll draw a line straight over to 2 o'clock. Let's say at 2 o'clock you went to bed. So at 2 o'clock you're going to draw that line down to the sleeper berth, to the middle of it there. Then you're going to put this here when you get up in the morning, and you're going to run your line all the way over to 8 o'clock. And I'm making times up, but the real time is going to be on everybody else. So you keep in the 8 o'clock. All right, you're going to go in and have breakfast. You go back up to off duty. So now at 8 o'clock, you go up, draw a line back up to off duty. You stay off duty until 10 o'clock. So now you stay off duty till 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, you're going to, still using your straight edge, you're going to go from there all the way down to line 4. What's line 4? That's on duty, not driving. So you're going to go all the way down to line 4. Stop in the middle right there. Now then, you're going to show 15 minutes. Each one of these lines here, each one of these lines down here represents a 15 minutes. So you have 1, 2, 3 lines between midnight and 1 o'clock. Each one of them represents 15 minutes. I'm telling you what I suggest. Don't care what anybody else tells you. This is how I do it. So when you go down at, what was it, 10 o'clock we had said? Then you're going to draw a line from 10 o'clock to 10:15. At 10:15, you're going to go up to your drive line because you're fixed to start working. At that 10 o'clock where you came down, underneath it, down here in the body, you're going to draw you another line from your 10 o'clock down, draw you a nice long line, and you're going to write the name of the town that you're in. Look at your GPS or whatever, Google it. Write down the name of the town that you're in and the state. On the other side of that line, you're going to write pre-trip or PTI, pre-trip inspections, what PTI is. Whatever it takes. Make sure you go back here and start filling out this stuff. If you get stopped, they're very liable to want to look at this. Oh, well, you didn't do a pre-trip. You don't have to sign it till the end of the day, but fill in all your blanks, your truck number, your trailer number, your odometer reading, the whole routine. Now then, you're going to drive 4 hours. So that puts us up to 2 o'clock. You're going to draw a line from 10 o'clock, or from 10:15 actually, to 2 o'clock. So that's 3 hours and 45 minutes you was driving. From there, you're going to draw a line up to off duty. Let's say you're taking your 30-minute break. Where you went off at 2 o'clock, you're going to draw another line down, just like you did on pre-trip. You're going to write in there the name of the town and the state. On the other side of that line, you're going to write 30-minute break. Now, let's say that instead of taking a break, you stopped at 2 o'clock, you're going to fuel. From 2 o'clock, you would go down here to on duty, not driving. And you're going to log that at least 15 minutes. And then go up to off duty. Or if you're going to leave, go to drive, whatever. But at that point, you'll still draw a line down. You'll put the name of the city and the state. On the other side of your line, you're going to write fuel. You got to let them know when you change duty statuses like this, you have to draw a line and let them know where you're at, city and state, and why you made that change. Now, if you're doing it from sleeper berth to off-duty, sleeper berth, you don't have to do it. But if you're going into the on-duty or the driving, you have to let them know where you're at. That way they can track your miles, is what that is. All right, so that's what you're going to do the whole day. Regardless how many times you stop and the whole bit, you'll have to go to one of these 4 lines. All right. And you're going to wind up drawing that line down, city and state, and why you change duty statuses. At the end of your day, you make sure you go. And now, some of you, this is going to depend upon your company. Whenever I get to a shipper or receiver, if I'm on paper logs, I drop down to on duty not driving for 15 minutes, and I will log in there, city and state, and I'll put dock duties. That tells them I'm dealing with a shipper or receiver. Now then, at the end of your day, you're going to drop down again to the on duty not driving, and you're going to show 15 minutes. You're going to go ahead and put your city and state, and you're going to write post-trip, or PTI, post-trip inspection. All right? Then you will flip this thing over, and you will complete this.
Road for 4 miles.
If you don't mind, I'm talking here. And that's when you will sign it. But read your logs. Every company has their own little twerk to them. They all have basically the same information. It's just how it's put together on your logs. So post-trip inspection is very important. Now, at the end of the day, see over here on this very far side? This is where you're going to tally up your hours. Now then, however many hours you had in the off-duty, you add them up across there and you write it in on the top over here. It's hard for me to do this stuff backwards. So you add all that across and you write that number in there. When you're doing your sleeper berth, add all the time you had in the sleeper berth, put it there. When you get done, you see these double lines here at the bottom? When you add them up, how many hours is in a day? 24. So all of these numbers should add up and go to 24. One of the things they used to get a lot of drivers for is they didn't do their math correct over here, and it would be 23.75. And they would write 24. But when DOT added all them numbers up, it did not add up to 24. That's a violation. That's falsifying documents type nonsense. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Your recaps on mine runs across this way. Now, legally, you need to get a hold of your log department if your ELD's down. They need to fax you copies of your previous 7 days, because you're supposed to have 7 days of logs in your possession. If your ELD's down, you don't have them in your possession. You don't have them where you can show them to that DOT officer. So make your safety, your log department, whoever's in charge of it, get you your logs. And then you'll have them on hand. On your first one of your paper logs that you do, you will see up here it says day of month. So there you go, the first, second, third, all the way down, whatever days it is for you. Then here it says hours total of line 3 and 4. That's all they care about, because these are your money lines. Lines 3 and 4 is your money lines. So whatever you've worked on all them days, on the November 1st, you write in 10 hours. November 2nd, you're going to write in 8.5, or whatever your hours add up to. And then over here, it's going to tell you that all them days added together cannot exceed 70 hours. You know the rules. So it's really not that hard. Make sure you sign it down here. If you want, where it says name of co-driver, put NA, not available, or not applicable, whatever you want to call it. Draw a line there, whatever. But you want to fill out everything on this that you can. If they're having trouble with ELD logs, I guarantee you that the man knows about it, and they're liable to start checking more and more on logs. These are not complicated. They're only going to be as complicated as you make them. I'd suggest you don't make it complicated. Fill in all your blanks up here. Off duty, sleeper berth, driving, and on duty, not driving. You ought to know what duty status you're in. So there you go, crash course. I hope that wasn't too rough on you. But it's the middle of the night. There's your crash course that I was requested. You heard me read the message. It's a done deal. So with that, remember, good Lord loves you. So do I. Don't be waking me up. And remember, DOT, they might love you, but they love your money more. Cover your butt. If you have questions, leave them in the comments on here. Me or Carlos or one of my people will answer it. If I see somebody jumped in there and gave you a wrong answer and it wasn't one of us, I will correct them immediately. Be careful out there. DOT can be a bear. All these people that are online hollering, oh, well, if you was legal, what are you scared of? DOT's only doing their job. If you're legal, what are you scared of? There's some of you fixing to find out about the other side of DOT. That I guarantee you. Y'all have a blessed day now. Good night.